don't need that anymore. We can do this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start from the train being spawned, and we'll use this one here. Now I'm going to need to put the sign back in my hand again, and I need some empty space. I don't need any of that, and I don't need that or that. Okay, so I'll click onto this, and we do a number of commands. So we go / tcc sign add, and in here we type the sign. Now what you've got to do is, if there's spaces in the lines that you need to put them in brackets, in quotation marks. So first off is train, and the next line, so it's a space, commas, quotations, spawn 0.3. That's the next line. So you see the train here. All right, that is one line on a sign. This next line is line 2 on the sign. And if we go space, and the next line is line underscore, I think it's northwest, NW. Because there's no spaces there, we don't need it. And we hit enter. Now you see what's happened here. We got the first line, the second line, and the third line. This is a sign that's attached to a node. So when we go into, when we take this into disabled and hidden, you can't see anything. You can't see the sign, but the sign's there and it does work. Right? That's the wonderful thing about this. It hides everything. So we just drag across into adjust. Right, so the next thing we do is we need to get a power set up here. So if we go, the next one here, we go TCC. This is where the redstone, the wireless redstone happens. We go TCC sign power add, and this is where we put in SP, and it should already be in there. There you there. See SP Clucky? We put that in downstairs. Select that and hit enter, and it gives you a little funny symbol that tells you that it's going to receive a signal, and it's going to receive a signal from SP Clucky, which we did downstairs on the sign with the redstone. And that'll spawn a train. Okay, that's all you need for that one there. Okay, now the next one, while we're here, is a simple one. We highlight this node and we go TCC sign add, and we go plus to plus. Now the plus in this sign says the train is always on. Okay, when you don't have any symbols in the square brackets and just have the train like we did for the spawn, that means it relies on a redstone signal to activate the sign. With the plus signal, it's always on, right? So whenever something runs over this, it's going to activate. So train space, no, because there's no spaces in this next line, we just type it. So destroy. Pretty self-explanatory. Enter. That train is now, whenever a train runs over that node, it's going to disappear. Okay, so that gets rid of the train. So moving right along around here, where is the next one? We'll do this one here, I think. Now this doesn't need to be a switcher sign, because it's actually joining into one line, so it doesn't matter. We don't need to put a sign there. So what we'll do on this one is we'll put a blocker. So trains don't come, trains don't come down this line. Right, trains always run on the left, so they run down this line going that direction, but they're not allowed to run down this line going in that direction. So what we do is we go TCC sign add. This remains on all the time. Train. Now, if you look at my my little map thing on the right, you see I'm heading south. So we check full colon south, close it, and we go blocker. Okay, now what that does is that blocks anything going south on this line. Okay, which means things can come down this line heading north, no problems. But if it's going south, it can't. It won't work. Okay, so let's move along. We don't need anything here. Now this one here, this is the train station. Okay, so we go TCC sign add, and what we're going to do here is there's going to be a couple of signs we're going to put on this in one hit, which is a fascinating thing. You can put as many signs on this note as you like or as you need, which is really cool. We go plus train quotation mark, because there's a space in this line. We go skip 0, 1. Right, that means that we want the sign to skip the next sign if it meets a certain conditions. Now, if it's not empty, if the train is not empty, all right, so what the exclamation mark in normal code or database code is not empty, skip the train station, and that'll go straight past. So if there's someone writing it and this isn't their stop, it'll just go straight past it. Okay, there it is there. Now, with the same node being highlighted, we go TCC sign add, and this time we're going to put in plus train quote station. Right, that tells the plugin that this is a station, and I'll go 10s. Okay, now what this is this means that once it takes off, it's going to take 10 seconds to get to full speed. Okay, so it's a slow acceleration. And then we're going to go 5. Right, the nut number, it tells me that it's going to stop at that train station for 5 seconds. Right, and the next one is we're going to quotations, continue, come on spelling, and I want you to go to a speed of 3.0. All right, so what we do here is we hit enter. Now what you have here is you've got train, it's a station. We're going to accelerate off the station at a speed of 10 seconds to get to our full speed of 3, and we're going to wait here for 5 seconds for people to get on before it takes off. Okay, and continue means we're going to go in the same direction that we arrived in. Right, so if it arrives here, it's going to keep going straight ahead. And it's going to build up over 10 seconds to a speed of 3, which is our standard gauge speed for this train system. We can go faster on the really straight lines. Now, there's one more thing we need to put in here, and that is the signal to turn the command block on. So if we go /TCC sign output add, and if we choose AB Clucky, which is there it is down there, AB Clucky, tab, and hit enter. See, you now have a square there, different symbol, right? So this is now saying, all right, I need you to send a signal down to the sign and trigger the switch to turn the command block on. And that's our train station there. Right, moving right along now, we're going to go further down this line here. This one here. Now, this is our first switch track. So what we do here is the train has a choice to either go straight ahead or it needs to go around this way to the stations heading up that way. And it's a fairly easy one. Highlight it, /TCC sign add, and we go plus to leave it on, train, and just type in switcher. That's it. That tells the plugin that this is the switcher where the train needs to make a decision, track 2 or track 3. Okay, and that is it for this line here. Right, now if we're going to come around now over this line, on this side line, now we're going to run up this sign. We need to put in another blocker sign. So /TCC sign add train north blocker. So basically what it does is it stops the train from calculating paths along this line using this cross section here. If it wants to get to the next train station saying, oh, I can't go this way, I've got to go that way. Right, which is important. Now, that's that bit done. Now, because we have a train station here to stop the empty train, what we need is a way of stopping the full train, so a destination. So this one here is our destination node. So / TCC sign add, and we don't need a plus sign there, just a standard train signal. We go destination. This tells the plugin that this is a destination plugin. This is what it calculates to. So these destination signs are important because they actually calculate the distance between train stations and where you can go. This is how the plugin maps everything. And we name it as Clucky. It has to be named the same because we have a separate plugin with all the tickets, and it has to be the same. There it is there. Okay, so that's destination Clucky. Now there's a couple of things we need to do here. So we need to add another one. So / TCC sign add. This sign we turn on. Train colon skip 01, and we want the train to skip this destination if we want this node if the ticket on the train is not the destination. So if the destination that the ticket gave the train is not this one, it goes straight past it. Right, and we do that if we go not D is destination at Clucky. Right, so this says basically, train, I want you to skip the next station or the next sign, which we'll understand in a minute, if the destination is not Clucky. All right, so we click on that. So that's two signs, and now we need to add a third sign. So we go / TCC, and this is the eject sign here. So what I can do here is I like to go and stand where I want to see the person get off the train. So say probably, I don't know, outside here, so here somewhere. All right, now I can still, because it's still highlighted, I can still write the command, but I also have down the bottom right hand corner at my mods have a destination there, and the top one in the bracket says the position. It moves a lot. So what we do is we go TCC sign add, keep this one turned on, train forward quotation eject at. Now when we use eject at, we actually have to give it some specific coordinates. This is -13269, which is a coordinate. We go /64 for the height, and we go 1224 space to get to the fourth line, and this time it needs to be 90.0 /0.0. Now this last set is pretty straightforward. If you get close to it, it's basically left, right, up, down. There's no sort of in between, otherwise you end up at a weird angle. So I look at my coordinate on the screen, and I just round to the nearest right angle, 90, 180, 0. It's really that simple. All right, hit enter, and you see the fourth sign there. So now we're going eject at these coordinates at that orientation. Okay, and we're nearly done.